Hey friends, today I'm creating two apartments for a set of twin brothers. Let's check them out. So I'm back in Magnolia Promenade working on a couple more apartments in this series of apartments that I'm doing on the top floor of this building I created for my date night series, which has like a cafe, a paint and sip, and a thrift store in it. And yeah, I thought it'd be fun to create a couple of apartments up here that I am imagining are owned by two twin brothers who also own the cafe that is underneath of these apartments. And yeah, I wanted to decorate them kind of similar, but also different, just kind of show the two different personalities between them. And I also wanted to use as much of the new items that came with that base game update the other day. So I'm using the brand new kitchen, which I love. This was so needed, and I'm so glad that they added it to the game. I'm probably going to be using this kitchen to death now, so yeah, you'll probably just be seeing it in all of my builds from now on. And I'm also using the new parquet flooring that came with that event that they're doing right now, one of the items that you can unlock by participating in that. So I'm using that. I was going to try to use the tile that was also unlocked, but it wasn't really fitting in here. I think the pattern is just too big for the space. I don't know, it just kind of looked weird. So I am using the new tile that came with that base game update, along with the subway tile, which is fantastic. And I really love all the colors that they chose for pretty much all of these new items. I think they're all really great. And I'm also using the new doors like within the apartments. And yeah, I thought those were really great. I thought those all fit in. I'm imagining, these have been maybe renovated a bit more than the other two apartments that I already did, which I'll link here if you want to check those out. But yeah, it still has like some of the, kind of historic, classic, I don't know, like the flooring. It seems a lot more historic than something you would probably put into like a house or an apartment now. So I wanted to keep some of those touches, but yeah, I feel like, it's been refreshed a bit, and a lot of their furniture looks a little bit more modern too, I would say. And I'm imagining that the brother who lives in this apartment that I'm working on first, he's a little bit more maybe type A. He kind of handles a lot of the business aspects of the cafe, the accounting and the paying the bills and the insurance and all of that kind of stuff. And then the other brother, I imagine him to be kind of the more creative side of the business, and also kind of like an aspiring musician. Like he has some different musical instruments in there. Maybe he performs like at the cafe and maybe at the thrift store, because it's got like an area for that. And yeah, I think, they complement each other really well in that way. But yeah, they have different vibes. Like this apartment is much lighter and brighter, and the other apartment is much moodier, has a lot more like darker features, which you'll see here in a bit. And I also included the new bar that matches the kitchen set. I included that in here, which fit in really well. I never really think to add bars like that, so I really should remember to do that. But of course, unfortunately, not all of the kitchens have a matching bar, so sometimes it can be a little bit odd. But yeah, and then with the event, they also have the decorative kind of old school phones that you can unlock. And I thought it'd be fun to use one of like the wall one, almost like a call box that you would have in an apartment to like buzz people in. Just since the building's older, I imagine you would have that in this one. Because like I think in a lot of modern buildings, at least in like my apartment, like there is a call box outside, but it goes to my cell phone and then I can just buzz people in that way, which is really great. But since this is like an older historic building, maybe they haven't updated it and they still have the kind of thing inside the apartment to buzz people in. I also really wanted to use the inflatable chair that you can unlock through the event, which you can kind of see in the background. But it just didn't really fit into the aesthetic of either of the apartments. So I didn't use it in this one, but I do really want to use it at some point. So maybe when I do maybe like a kid's room, or I don't know, even like a 90s inspired build, that would be really fun. I might have to put that on my list. But yeah, are any of you participating in the event? I'm kind of excited about some of the things that you can unlock with it. So I think this one is a bit better, especially than the like holiday one that they did. At least as far as like the tasks that you have to do to unlock things, it's a bit more interesting, like this kind of time travel story. And it kind of like ties in with The Sims 3, I think, is like where the character is from, who you interact with. So yeah, I think that's kind of fun. I'm curious if it's meant to like, I don't know, tease like a future pack or anything. I know that they just announced the businesses and hobbies pack, which I have quite a few thoughts on. But yeah, you'll have to let me know if you're participating in the event right now. And I have to say, I really like how this bedroom turned out. I was a little nervous at first when I picked this rug, because I like that it's like a nice big square rug for this room. But I was worried that the colors were going to be a bit too muted to make this look okay. But I think it actually worked really well. Like I was able to like pull like the yellow out of the rug on the walls, and there's quite a bit of green and gray that kind of work well with the black furniture accents that I went with. So yeah, I really like how this room turned out. I don't know if I've ever really used this wall color before, because it's kind of like in between like a beige and almost like a mustard color. It's like somewhere in between. And yeah, I like it a lot more than I thought I would. So yeah, and I did a nice 4-poster bed. I thought that was kind of fun. And yeah, I put in like a desk in here with a computer, since there wasn't really room in the living area for it. So I thought, kind of putting it in the bedroom would make sense. Also, did any of you watch any of the 25-hour live stream that they did for the anniversary? I watched a bit of it, but honestly, I wasn't super familiar with a lot of the creators that they had on there. But I did get to see Trixie and Katya, which was fantastic. I love them. It was so funny, like watching them try to keep it like very PG for the stream. If you're familiar with them at all and their shows, really funny. But yeah, I missed Doja Cat, which was disappointing. But I saw some clips of her playing, kind of just on X and stuff. But yeah, kind of a fun thing. I'm glad that they're actually doing something big this year for the anniversary, since the 20th anniversary was such a so lackluster with that sad weird hot tub that they gave us. But yeah, I'm glad that they're doing something fun for this one. And now I'm over working on the second apartment. It's kind of right next door. And yeah, like I said, a much darker, kind of moodier aesthetic overall. I went with these black kitchen cabinets, which worked out a lot better than I was expecting. I was a little worried it was going to feel, I don't know, too dark, but I think having the white counter really helped break it up. Because I think there's also a swatch where the counter is also very dark, and I think that would have been too much. But yeah, I think it contrasts really nicely. And then I think keeping the wood floor all the way through worked really well for this apartment, rather than doing tile like I did in the first apartment. And since they own the cafe, I wanted to make sure that they both had a coffee maker, but I accidentally put the espresso one in this apartment, which I ended up swapping out, I think before the tour, so I can't remember if it's in the tour or not. But I do swap it out because when I was playtesting it, I always forget that item has to be used with the other like bean grinder part. They just can't use it to make just regular coffee, which is a little disappointing. But yeah, I ended up swapping that out, and I also put in like the mixing or the mixer. I thought that was nice. I haven't really used that object as much, so yeah, I thought it'd make sense to put that in here. And I decided to use these really large shelves because it kind of looks like there's vinyls on one of the shelves. And I imagine, he's a big music lover, kind of an aspiring musician. So I wanted that to kind of be on there as well. And I'm just realizing I didn't actually put in a vinyl player in here. I tried to, but I couldn't get it to sit on any of the shelves because, I don't know, the snapping points on shelves in this game are just so weird, because I thought it would look really nice to have a record player in one of these like big shelf items. But yeah, it just wouldn't fit in there, and then I just kind of couldn't get it to really work anywhere else. So I do put a stereo in a little bit later, but yeah, not a record player. So we'll just, I don't know, we'll just pretend that he has one hidden away somewhere. Maybe he only uses it for special occasions. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to get some music instruments in here. So I got the keyboard and the guitar and the violin. And yeah, I kind of use this rug that I use all the time. I really love this rug from Get Famous, I believe is where it's from. And yeah, I use just like a lot of rich wood tones in here. I don't know, it just really worked, I think. Between like the fireplace, the shelves, even the couch, like that kind of rich leather look. Yeah, I thought that worked out well in here. But yeah, you'll also have to let me know if you've seen the trailer for the new Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack and what you think. I have really mixed feelings. Like, I love that you'll be able to run more businesses in The Sims. I think that's really great. But yeah, I don't know. The hobbies part is really throwing me because it really only introduces like 2 new activities, like tattooing and pottery, which are both great. But I don't know. I don't know if I would want to get a tattoo from someone who considers it a hobby. Like, I don't know. That's like a profession, not really something you're, just kind of dabbling in. But yeah, and only 2 like different activities. That's kind of, I don't know. It feels like they're trying to like, I don't know. I don't want to like say they're being dishonest, but I don't know. It feels like there should be a lot more for a pack if you're going to call it, like, include hobbies in the name, And I know there's a lot of hobbies already in the game, so it's not like we necessarily need a ton more. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like they could have added sewing. I think that would have worked really well with kind of a more creative set of hobbies, like pottery and things. But yeah, I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think. What hobbies you would have liked to have seen included. I know people keep saying they want to see like bands and more like musical stuff, which I think would be great too. But yeah, I could definitely see them doing some other sort of musical pack at some point to like introduce concerts or things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just it feels like the Sims team like does really well for a while, and then they like make the same mistake again, where it seems like they're over promising on just based on the title. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of disappointing. I'm really curious though. I'm really excited to see more of it. And hopefully it, does better than we're expecting. Since like Eco Lifestyle was kind of like that, where people were like not really sure what this pack was when they first announced it. And like it just didn't really seem to explain it very well. But yeah, I am really excited about the multi-use lots though. I think that's really cool. And yeah, I might have to try to adapt even like some of these lots into like separate businesses, so you could run a cafe or a paint and sip even. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what it's like. And while I was yapping, I finished up the living room and the bathroom, and yeah, I decided to do like a full wall of bookcases by the keyboard and stuff. I thought that was a kind of a nice way to fill up that whole wall. And then yeah, the bathroom, fairly simple, a little bit darker aesthetic like the rest of the apartment, but very similar to the first apartment's bathroom, just to kind of keep things, at least somewhat similar. And I ended up actually doing another 4-poster bed in this apartment as well. But I did the more, a little bit more industrial one, which I think, fit in pretty well. Even the desk is kind of like this metal kind of older style office desk. And yeah, I think it worked really well in here. I also tried to do this sort of lighter wood accent in the bed and the nightstand, and then eventually the dresser. And yeah, I wanted to add some shelves above the desk here and just kind of add some random things to it, just to kind of, I don't know, do something a little bit more interesting or a little bit different than just more artwork. And yeah, I think it I think it worked out pretty well. And yeah, next up on the channel is kind of the last build in my date night series that I've been doing. At least for now, I might gonna revisit it, but I'm gonna do a museum / library combo, just kind of a smaller one here in Magnolia Promenade as well. And yeah, that'll kind of finish that up. And then I've got the last 2 apartments in this building, and then I'm not really sure. I need to do some planning. So if you have any ideas on things you'd like to see me build, please let me know. I'd love to hear that. But yeah, I got a list of ideas somewhere that I need to revisit and see what to do. But yeah, I'm just adding a couple more details to this apartment, and then I'll kind of finish up with some lighting around both of the apartments, and then kind of the common area, if you will. And off camera, I did add a couple of mailboxes, both outside of this set of 4 apartments, and then I put another mailbox over by the other set, just so they've got those. And I ended up keeping the kind of top landing basically empty. I wasn't really sure what to put out there, just since, I don't really see a lot of decorative things in the stairwells of apartment buildings. At least not in any apartment building that I've ever lived in. That seems like something for more rich people to have artwork and plants and stuff in their hallways. But yeah, you'll have to let me know if you've ever seen that in an apartment building, or what I maybe could have added in here. Yeah, I wasn't really sure on that one. But that will just about do it for me, and then I will leave you with the tour here in about 30 seconds. So just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know there's a million other things you could be doing right now, so it means a lot. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. That helps a lot. And subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you so much. Have a great day.